Older and Dumber. Hey everybody, welcome to Older and Dumber, the podcast about three dumb friends just trying to make it on this planet we call
Earth.
Ooh.
That's not very timely.
Whoa, not very yeah.
You know why Satan got kicked out of heaven?
Stop. Why?
Because he didn't want to decorate Easter eggs.
Oh, I heard that.
He wanted to use plastic eggs.
True story. I've heard it before. Very, very true story.
He rose above his station, telling God that they should use plastic eggs.
Above his station.
And he was cast into the lake of fire for it.
Right into it. Well, guys, if you couldn't tell, today on this Good Friday, as this episode has come out, we are talking about Easter. And, Easter. Sacred tradition.
Easter Island.
Or sugar-filled holiday. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, let's get some true crime graphics here.
That'd be awesome. All right, so before we get too into this, we're gonna do some little icebreaker questions. So obviously today, guys, we're talking about Easter. We're gonna go into some depth here, but we're gonna start off a little light and fun. First thing is a little teaser about the episode, and that is Easter about the resurrection, the rabbit, or the Reese's? We're gonna discuss that today. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is what is your guys' strongest Easter memory? Was it at a church service or a chocolate overdose? What's your strongest Easter memory?
One Easter, we were in church service, and a bunch of my friends and I snuck out, and then we beat the shit out of each other in the back lawn.
Nice.
What an Easter tradition! What a reenactment of what Easter really
did.
Didn't one of you get beat really bad?
And then 3 days later, Rose.
Did that happen?
No.
Oh, these guys don't reenact at all. You killed him? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Left him in there.
Did you at least spear him in the ribs? Nice.
Damn.
Check if he's alive.
I learned one Easter that dogs can eat chocolate and not die. So
I think you have told me this. Isn't this when Gemma ate an entire candy cane tube of Reese's?
It was my dog before Gemma. It was Joe Bob.
Joe Bob?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know this dog.
Yeah, you never met Joe Bob. He was probably dead before we knew each other.
Wow. It was that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Dinosaur. What?
But he lived to the ripe old age of like 22 years old for a dog.
What breed was it? Was it a Velociraptor or?
I can say this because it's not too soon, but it's probably because of the chocolate.
No, because
he could have lived even longer.
Because JB, he ate the chocolate.
You called him JB?
Yeah. He ate the chocolate when he was
Who's going to call him Joe Bob all the time? They had to come up with something quicker.
I'm just using JB on the podcast. I
always
called him Joe Bob. When he was like 8 years old, he ate the whole Easter basket. Not just the candy.
The green.
He ate the
grass.
Easter grass. He ate all the foil on the candy. He ate the boxes that the chocolate rabbit was in. He ate half the basket.
Wow. That's probably why it kept him alive, was the fake grass. You know, the fake grass mixed with the chocolate to make it more dilute. I don't know. Oh, man, it's all the fiber, all the wicker. Oh, man, a whole basket? That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a lot of chocolate. That dog should be dead. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
So if you're ever worried about, should I give my dog a piece of this Reese's, you're okay. He'll be fine.
Please don't give your dog chocolate at your own behest. How about that? We don't endorse it.
Use your best judgment. Just know that I watched a dog.
Everybody knows their dog. How big was Joe Bob? How big was Joe Bob?
Springer Spaniel, so medium size, about Gemma's size, but in better health.
Yeah, Gemma's got an eye hanging out.
And she's fat.
She ate too much chocolate.
She comes up to the door when I get home and she fucking waddles. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're a disgrace.
Oh, man.
Got to get her on the treadmill.
Gemma, one eye open. She's like, don't worry, I'll get it. My strongest Easter memory. So it's funny. It's going to involve plastic eggs. So But this is why it's my strongest Easter memory. So, and it's probably the last time I did a large Easter celebration. So I was probably, I want to say 10 to 12 years old. And we would go to my stepbrother's grandma's house.
Okay.
And it was like us and then their entire side of the family and their kids. So like my step cousins and like, you know, all that
All
shit.
the steps.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the Easter basket, step cousin.
So anyway,
What are you doing?
so we'd all go there. And
Taking
she
your
had
Reese's,
this
bitch.
she had this large like paved driveway out back with like a garage. So here's the driveway. And then right here is grass that has a little playground in it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess where they decided to put all the hay? In the driveway on the hard pavement. They said, let's throw they went and bought like one of the big bundle hay things and then ripped it open. We're like, it's all right there. And they went and got plastic eggs, like all the plastic fake eggs, and they put money in all of them.
Hell yeah.
Some of them had coins.
Hell
Some of them had paper money.
I will say relatives that did plastic eggs with money in them were.
So they put coins in some of them, they put paper in some of them, they just hit them throughout the hay. And they had all the kids line up in a circle around the outside of it.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, okay, ready?
Oh, God.
Go! We all just run and jump into each other on the hard pavement underneath the hay. The hay did barely anything to stop the hurting of the stone pavement. So we're all bam, and we're climbing on top of each other like it's friggin' the end of the world. We're reaching in for eggs. Dude, someone's got an egg in their hand.
Damn, your grandparents made you Thunderdome.
Oh
for your
yeah,
Easter eggs.
Dude, kids would have eggs in their hand. Like you'd always go for the small kids because the small kids will find the egg. They'll hold it up. They go, I got one. You go, boop. No, you didn't.
Your D&D decision.
And you just rip it out of their hands. You're like, look what we got. And you start piling. Dude, you start piling them in your shirt. And you're like, this is mine. This is mine. Dude, it would just be a mess by then. Like we would it was like a 2 minute. You like 2 minutes. Blah blah blah. We get done. Say, everybody get out. We all get out, and you just see like carnage. I mean, there's like some blood specks. There's broken plastic. There's coins, some dollar bills in the haystack.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. But yeah, that was probably not my greatest, my strongest Easter memory, for sure. I was gonna bring up another thing, but we'll go to the next question. Another icebreaker question here. So, what is weirder? A bunny.
Weird. Put that clip in, May.
A bunny that lays eggs
Mm-hmm.
or dressing in pastels once a year? What's weird?
If you dress in pastels once a year, you're weird. You should be dressing in pastels every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's weirder? A bunny that lays eggs or
bunny.
a bunny that lays eggs?
Yeah.
Why do you think we should wear pastels every day?
Haven't you ever watched anything from the 80s? That's when fashion was at its peak.
When everybody was in pastels.
You were either in pastels or you were in neon. If you were in neon, it was garish. If you were in pastels, you were fucking high class.
Oh, like the bullies in the 80s movies.
You get a white like suit, and you get a pastel blue or pink shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Carter?
I love pastel. I'm wearing a pastel shirt right now.
I thought that was just a denim shirt.
That's more denim.
No, this is pastel.
Looks more denim.
This isn't denim.
Denim. Looks more denim. And then here, one more question as we go into the more major
The
topics.
serious questions that are going to get us canceled.
Yeah. I think the pastels thing is weirder, by the way. Had to be different. Do you think Easter is still a religious holiday, or has it gone full commercial?
I really think
Easter's never been a Christian holiday.
I'm going to say, though.
What did you just say?
Resurrection Sunday is the real holiday.
Easter Sunday.
We always just used to call it Resurrection Sunday.
I forgot he came from. Again, he's at where it's dead. You're at where it was at its height.
I'm actually going to say that that it's more religious now than it was when I was a kid because you don't see Easter advertised. You don't even see Easter candy advertised on TV anymore. They used to do like the Cadbury's and the Reese Bunny commercials.
Well, do you think that's because most people don't watch cable anymore?
Yeah, you still get ads on shit. When's the last time you saw a Reese Bunny ad on Hulu or something?
Okay, I could see that. So you think because there's less ads, it's become more religious?
I don't know if it's more religious, but I think the commercial aspect of it has gone away.
Oh, like it being like a
you still
get the candy
see
out,
you still
make the
see.
baskets.
I was just looking at baskets at Walmart the other day when I was walking through.
It's probably the only place I see them.
And it's not even that full front seasonal section anymore. It's like one aisle.
Interesting.
Yeah, I always thought of them as two separate holidays.
Thought as what as two separate holidays?
Easter and Resurrection Sunday.
Did they do them as separate holidays?
Yeah, did you do it as a separate holiday?
Yeah, basically. We would do like the secular stuff like at my Oma's or someone else's
And then you
house.
go home and get the plastic eggs.
Yeah.
Filled with
It was like more of like
candy.
a spring celebration.
Huh. That's definitely
Well, that's
different.
definitely it's like Christmas and all those holidays have just sort of taken all these other holidays and merged them into one thing.
And that's sort of what we're going to talk about here. So, all right. Good answers on your stuff, guys. So before we really get into this, let's talk about what Easter is. Okay. So we'll do this sort of as we won't go like super deep, but essentially, Easter is a celebration of Jesus rising from the dead. It was central to Christianity. Good Friday is when he dies. Sunday is when he rizzed. When he rizzed.
When he
It's
rizzed, it was the day Jesus rizzed.
It was the day Jesus rizzed. So that's essentially, what it was. But it was tied to Passover, and since the crucifixion happened during the same time, blah blah. But the reason why we have the rabbit.
Okay, I'm not.
Yes, what do you mean?
I can't go
No,
deep
go ahead.
on this one.
Say it.
Passover is originally when the angel of death walked over the doors in Moses' time. Not Moses' time. Moses' time.
I didn't say that Easter is Passover. I said it's tied to Passover because it's during the same time.
Yeah, you have Lent, right? Like 6 weeks of you can't eat meat.
Go ahead, continue.
Is that not right?
I mean, it happens during the same time.
have-
Okay,
but
so
they're
there you
not
go.
like tied to each
You have
other.
Ash Friday in there too, right? That's when Jesus gets stabbed.
That's good. That's Good Friday.
Black Friday.
A lot of Friday holidays. And Easter has always fallen
Bloody
on
Sunday.
Easter has always fallen on the Saturday after the first full moon, which is the reason why it's a different date every single year.
You do it after the full moon, so the werewolves are free and clear.
And of course, the
The only
next
day you
question,
can break the werewolf curse.
so that's essentially what we've got for Easter. But the real question is, where the frick did the eggs and the rabbit come from?
The hair club for men.
Do you, wait, we gotta get to that. Do you guys know where the egg and the bunny came from? Like the rabbit and the egg shit came from?
Fuck no.
So during that
I
time,
think it's part of the springtime festivals that are
the
brought in
pagan,
from
the
pagan
pagans,
stuff,
the
yeah.
pagan.
Oh, and then the Christians took it.
'Cause it
Correct.
was like
So the
egg
pagan
is a symbol of
springtime-
life, and
Yes, the egg is new life, rabbit's fertility.
Hunter doesn't understand that.
What? No, the whole egg. Anyway, so they were pagan springtime festival stuff. They used rabbits and eggs, rabbits for fertility, and eggs to symbolize new life. And during that time, Christianity wanted people to convert to Christianity. So in order to do so, they tried to make things more palpable to other cultures. So they introduced the rabbit and the egg because of, Jesus coming back to life. So new life as an egg, and the rabbit was sort of a part of it. So in order to convert more people, they wanted to make Christianity more of a,
They wanted stacks on stacks on stacks.
they wanted it more welcoming. So that's why they created the whole eggs and rabbit thing. So really it has nothing to fucking do with anything. But they just sort of stole it, and they were like, hey,
they steal everything.
we do that too, The Christians are over here like doing their thing, they're praying, and the pagans are over there doing stuff like, why aren't those people in our church right now? Don't they know they need God?
Hey, our eggs are even cooler because we dye them red with Jesus' blood.
They instantly see them doing stuff like, guys, I have an idea. Let's start dyeing the eggs and tell them it's the same thing. And we're all, oh man, Christians.
We love you.
So anyway, so that's sort of where that came from. And then also, by the 1700s, German immigrants who came over to America, we got the Easter hare from a word that they called it, which was, you could probably say it better, Osterhaus? Osterhess?
Sounds like Easter.
I
to
can't
me.
pronounce it. But I don't see the word.
Osterhase. And that's how we got the Easter hare, as the German immigrants brought the idea over. Is that how you say it? You don't know?
I need to look at that
Osterhaus.
word.
Osterhaus.
Yeah, you got Osterhaus.
I'll be Osterhaus. Right there. Yeah, it's in the message I sent you. By the 1700s, German immigrants.
Yeah,
Osterhaus.
Osterhaus. Yeah.
I'll be Osterhaus.
I'll be ass to ass.
But that's essentially, apparently, how we sort of began the word of Easter hare, and then continuing and continuing. But of course, the real secret to Easter, which everybody make sure they watch out for the ninjas. Joey, if you want to tell the people about the real secret of
Well, one of Jesus's apostles was named Peter, right?
Beta.
oh yeah, Saint Peter, right?
Yeah.
He was the first
The Rock.
pope.
He
was the first pope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Peter.
You know
First
that?
Pope.
Do you know that, Mr.
Yeah,
Religious
because
Boy?
he's the rock which the church was built.
The Rock.
That's what
Dwayne
they
the Rock
say-
Johnson
That's what it says
really
in the
is
scriptures.
Saint Peter.
That's what it says in the lore.
In the lore?
Yeah, I've read all.
Do they have a
that.
lore?
I've read all
Does
the Jesus
Christianity
lore.
have a lore book?
Yeah, I read all of the Jesus lore book.
Oh man, I want Hasbro. Lore book. All right, continue.
I'm sure you can get one third party. 5e Christianity.
Christianity. It's Passion of the Christ 5e.
Ever since Wizard of the Coast took over, it's been down.
Oh man, dude, I want to see Magic the Gathering Passion of the Christ set.
Don't you think that it's a little funny that there's also a rabbit named Peter?
What? Peter Rabbit?
Peter Rabbit?
Rabbit Peter.
What does that have to do with anything?
Rabbi Peter.
Why do we even paint eggs? I heard I asked too many questions.
Yeah.
This is where I pull out my bunny ear.
Where does the Energizer Bunny come in?
Well, when Easter started, you started getting presents because it was like second Christmas.
Would it be first Christmas because it's before December?
No, it's after Christmas because it's after.
Well, December's the end of the year.
You would think that, but that's not how it works.
Oh, my bad.
Because you would come to Christmas and then you'd be like, now I have to wait for Easter.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What came
But then
first?
Easter comes.
What
and you're
came
like,
first, the
Easter-
rabbit or the egg?
Continue.
You would get your little toys, but then you can play with them because they required batteries. So the smart cats at Energizer were like, hey, yo,
The smart cats.
you know what we could do?
Hmm.
We'll take that rabbit, that Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
We'll strap an Energizer battery to his back, and we'll just make him sing our praises to the people.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Much like St. Peter, the first pope.
Well, that was just a man.
Oh, have you ever seen...
Okay.
Why do you think he wears that big hat?
I don't know. It must be
That
religious.
big pope hat.
It must be religious in some way.
You ever considered
What?
that he's hiding bunny ears under that hat?
I've never. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. How could you talk like that? Trying to tell people that St. Peter's was a rabbit.
Clearly, you weren't meant to be a member of the Hair Club for Men.
I see that club as blasphemy.
Guys, it's a South Park episode.
If you haven't seen South Park season 11 episode 5,
They explain Easter. We don't even need to do
Yeah.
this. Just go watch the episode.
you could just go watch that episode. It's super hysterical. The next question was, is Easter still relevant? And we sort of talked about that a little bit at the beginning. And there's a lot of the discussion between, still being religious versus like secular people doing it in two different ways, like Carter did, where one side's religious and one side is give me my plastic eggs with candy in it. Who still goes to church? Wow. Who still goes to jerk? Who still goes to church versus who just wants the Cadbury eggs? Is the meaning of Easter actually like fading, or is it just evolving? that kind of stuff.
That's a lot of questions, brother.
Well, it's just sort of what we're going to
never
discuss.
gonna reborn. Spring is a lie. It doesn't matter. We're all gonna die.
Remember last week when he was like so high on life?
Oh
when
yeah, he
came
was
in?
like, "I'm such a beautiful butterfly. I love the world.
Life's great, boys. I'll tell you what.
I see colors are so
come-
bright." He went through his
the smells, the sights, the sounds, brother.
He went through his own
I got
resurrection
this
last
good
week.
weed. I got these goats. Oh man, I got a date.
Not a rabbit in sight.
Life's so beautiful right now. This week he's like, I fucking want to die.
Listen here, brother.
There's
Jesus came back on Resurrection Sunday. He said, Sunday, resurrection.
this Sunday at Resurrection.
Resurrection Dome. Oh, man. All right, for real. So I want to sort of talk about...
Satan's been going around talking a lot of shit about me. And Jesus doesn't appreciate it.
Doesn't matter what his name is.
We'll see come Sunday night. All right. So reality. Let's go. Let's talk about. So we talked about sort of our strongest memories of Easter. Let's talk about Easter from down the line. So oldest to youngest. During Easter, what did it feel like it meant, or like what was the like sort of? Was it hype? Was it not hype? Was it around a lot? Was it not around at all? What was it sort of like during the time when you were younger? During Easter?
My mom and dad were split, so I always got 2 holidays.
It's 2 Easters.
And which split into multiple grandparent holidays as well.
Wonderful.
So I always got like 4 to 6 holidays, depending on who was celebrating.
4 to 6
where we were
baskets.
going.
Yeah.
So mostly it was a lot of running around. We had a lot to do on Sundays.
Was there any weird traditions you did?
No, I was.
You
I
just always remember
remember
just getting baskets and that's it?
Yeah, and with 4 siblings, and they're all younger than me, so they're all hyped up and jacked out of their mind on chocolate already.
Do you
because
remember,
we've been decorating eggs and
Yeah.
eating chocolate the whole time.
Did you ever go to church for it or no?
I remember before. Yeah, probably before any of my siblings were born, we used to go because like we lived across the street from the church. So like whenever there was a church function, we were at that.
But once you got
once
brothers and sisters, they were like, we ain't doing this shit.
Yeah, because it became too much.
Yeah.
Like when you've got
They got to rile you. They got to rile that one down. They got to punch that one in the head. They got all that stuff.
And then, trying to get organized just to get everybody at the same place for dinner or whatever it just became too much.
It became painting and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Egg decorating. We were always an egg decorating house though.
So for me, before my mom married my 3rd stepdad, second stepdad,
3rd time's the charm.
no, it's 4th or 5th.
5th time's the
It doesn't
charm.
matter how many times. It
doesn't matter
what
what
his
his
name
name
is. Anyway, so before that stepdad, I don't remember us doing anything for Easter at all. Then that's when the Easter I told you about started happening, where we'd go and jump in the hay bale.
The WWE.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I really started. Like,
Hay
but we again,
match.
there was no hay match in the driveway dome.
It's going to be a haystack match at Resurrection.
But even with that, there was never any religious component. We didn't go to church. We didn't fucking sit and pray or talk about Jesus or God or anything. We just jumped in a hay bale and fought each other for plastic eggs and money. And we got out some baskets with candy in it afterwards to be like, oh, you were a tough warrior, kid. Here's
You
your
were
chocolate.
taught valuable lessons.
Yeah.
Like how to fucking
Like,
beat up younger
all you little
children.
kids who didn't get
Here's
any
your
eggs
chocolate
or money.
bunnies.
Here's your little Easter basket.
So
as
then-
Use the
compensation.
weaker for labor so you can get money for yourself.
So then after that husband, stepdad, and I moved to North Carolina and went and lived with my dad. Not a single Easter thing. Not one. Nothing Easter. I mean, it was just a regular Sunday. It was just, there's nothing to it. I was like, oh, do we get baskets? Oh, you want some candy? I'm like, yeah. He's like, here, I'll just get you some candy. I'm
Buy
like,
you a
okay.
pack of gum.
Yeah, right? Like, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So it's like, I didn't care. Then I moved back to New York.
I don't think it's
And-
very big on celebration.
No, well, some things. But anyway, so I come back to New York, and the only other time I did anything for Easter is when I started I dated this one girl for a very long time. You know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother was the craziest.
The one that took our son away?
No. Oh, Big B. No. No. So anyway, her mother was crazy about
That
it.
was a short-term
It
relationship.
was very short. Anyway, so her mother was crazy about it, and she was like, "You guys have to stay here the night before, and we have to have Easter Sunday. You have to come here." I was like, "Fine, my family doesn't fucking celebrate it. I don't care. I'll go." So we go, and this is the weirdest thing. You had to wake up and eat a deviled egg. I hate deviled eggs. She's like, you have to wake up and you have to eat a deviled egg. We're like, I don't like deviled eggs. Okay, well, I'll just make you an egg. So you have to eat an egg every morning. And she's like, okay, we eat the egg. Then we're going to sit around the table and we're going to pray. And I was like, oh my gosh. So we do that. Then we're done. And she's like, all right, I got you guys baskets. I'm like, oh, great. Candy. This is the fun part. Eat candy, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, okay, make sure you're here for dinner later. And I was like, dinner? There's a dinner to this too? I thought it was just breakfast and we'd be done. Nope. It would be to the end of the night and we come back and there's just all these different egg-based dinner foods. I was like, why is there so much egg eating on Easter Sunday? So that was one of the weird traditions that I had to go
That's
through.
Carter's dream Easter, I
I
think.
bet he probably was like, he was probably salivating when I said that story.
He was.
But that's essentially all the
I'll watch
Easter.
his ears perk up.
That's all the Easter I've ever really experienced, honestly. So then after that, I don't think I've touched Easter again ever since.
It was praise
I don't
and
even think I
Jesus for
bought
me.
it. I actually think I wait till after Easter and buy the candy on discount.
Yeah.
That's usually what I do now. So Carter, your turn.
What? I forgot the
Salivating
question.
over
It's
the
been
Easter
so
still.
long.
He's salivating over the.
He already told his inadvertent.
Well, yeah. What's
now you have to
well,
tell us the details
Yeah. Tell us, like, was
about
there
how
weird?
you reenacted the Passion of the Christ.
Was there weird traditions you had, or did maybe Dad
Usually we
used
just
to
went to church.
force feed an egg to you?
Oh, I bet he made him sing.
Usually
I
we just
bet.
went
Did you have to
church. Okay. Usually we just went to church.
Were you in the church choir?
No, it
Were you a
wasn't
choir
like
boy?
that. We were non-denominational church.
What does that mean?
Just means that it's not like Catholic or Baptist or anything like that. It's like more.
Non-denominational.
It's more of a tax write-off.
It's more of a. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Holy shit! Trauma is coming back.
Dump it. Let's go.
We would just go to church. Sometimes we'd sneak out, throw the tennis ball. We would just chuck a tennis ball and do like the game where
So
like
that was your
300,
tradition?
and we would catch it, and then we would somehow get up in a fight.
I remember 300.
And
We used to
would
call it
just- And
500.
then we would just beat the shit out of each other for like an hour or so. And then I would go to my Oma's house in Binghamton.
Well, you guys
You
both
don't-
had really violent Easter traditions.
Yeah. Do you remember? Was there anything weird? Any weird tradition?
I used to beat up kids at church.
There wasn't anything like your parents were like, you have to do this.
No, I mean we were at church.
No?
Is that weird
Okay.
enough?
I guess maybe for
We
some
had
people.
the same food every year. We always had
Oh yeah.
the same, like a ham.
I can't look
Yeah,
at egg
usually
casserole the
ham.
same.
I don't know. Deviled eggs. Deviled eggs is a big Ruttle tradition.
Carter's not really a food guy, so I don't know
No,
why I
unless it's got
asked.
eggs in it.
It's got calories.
It's got eggs.
I
All
thought
right.
maybe as a young man you were a food guy.
I eat food.
Here's a little reflection question, and that is: can holidays?
question. If
Yeah, can holidays mean different things to different people and still matter?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
That's it. Just a reflection question. It didn't need any. It's just yes or no.
Do you
know?
have an example?
Now
you
for
wanted
a
to
reflection
share?
question.
You came
Reflection
up with a
question.
Well, I mean that would be. I mean, actually, very specifically, it comes to Carter. I guess is where you look at Easter, and he did it both ways. He did the whole
Yeah.
full. He did the whole full religious thing, and then just went and ate candy at a different house. So for some people, the celebration is just like dunking and making eggs. And some people, the tradition is going to church and
Now I
praying
do
for all that
like
stuff,
I
right?
sacrifice like 10 lambs.
You see?
Easter.
There's that kind of stuff.
I build a
You
pyre.
can't sacrifice a lamb. You can't even milk a goat.
I make a pyre and I praise the rise of the spring harvest.
So essentially, the question is it okay
To
to
the
still
Wicker
celebrate
Man.
Easter in different ways, and it means different things, and still be okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on, how narrow your worldview is. Because, maybe you do want to go out and do the pagan celebration of spring and be like, I have to crack these raw eggs on my head while I burn a wicker man and put the bee helmet on Nicolas Cage.
That I don't know if that was okay to say or not.
And some people, would look down on that.
So yeah,
And all you're doing is, you're sacrificing a virgin to
It was a Wicker Man. Now it's a virgin.
Well, Nicolas Cage is the version they burn him in the Wicker Man.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, yeah, and then they have fertile crops.
Well, if you need fertile crops, just call up Nicolas Cage. Give him a good burning. All right, guys. We're at the end of this episode here. Last things is
Midsummer an Easter movie?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say
I
it
know
is.
what you did. Midsummer.
Easter tradition. Watch
Watching
Midsummer.
Well, that brings us to the last thing is, guys, please tell us about your personal Easter experiences. Tell us about your life within the bunny rabbit's realm.
realm.
What did you do?
Of resurrection.
Yours? Tell us in the comments. We want to know, and we'll talk about it, or just read it and comment back for you, whatever. But hopefully you guys have some good funny ones, and maybe there's even some bad ones. Who knows?
Don't forget to ring.
Ring my bell.
We paused because it was happening. Anyway.
Like, comment, sub.
Yeah.
Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/OlderNDumber for as low as $5 a month. And be sure to check out our other content over on Twitch, twitch.tv/OlderNDumber. Where you'll find all our D&D stuff now if you want to watch it live.
Yeah. And also, a word to our wonderful sponsors, Checkpoint Lounge at the Arnott Mall in Horseheads, New York. Please make sure to come down and say hello. Tell them Older and Dumber sent you so you could play some games.
I hear it's the gaming lounge where friends can be found.
The gaming lounge where you can get around.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Joey.
The gaming lounge with all the bass sound.
They do have Rock Band.
Yeah. What about you? We got a witty one? You got one?
No, I'm tired.
The gaming place where you can see Carter's tired face.
Yeah!
On Wednesdays. Thursdays.
Nice. Whatever day.
Whatever day we're here.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week.
For the next video.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Deagle Eagle. We're
Older and Dumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew. Be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So Dipshits mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.